Let me ask you something. Why do some people remain serene amidst chaos while others crumble? Why do some rise through adversity while others retreat at the first hurdle? It's not luck or talent. It's mental strength, and like a lotus that blooms in mud, it's cultivated through intentional practice. By the end of this journey, you'll discover how to forge a mind as steady as a mountain, rooted in ancient Buddhist wisdom. If you're ready, let's begin. Lesson 1. Embrace suffering as your teacher. Here's the first truth. Life is dukkha, suffering. This isn't a flaw. It's the nature of existence. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from clinging to what's impermanent. Mentally strong people don't resist life's storms. They learn to dance in the rain. Your mind is like a river. When you cling to ease or flee discomfort, you create turbulence. But when you meet challenges with equanimity, every setback becomes a lesson in impermanence, anicca. Shift your view. Obstacles aren't punishments. They're karma in action, opportunities to strengthen your resolve. Lesson 2. The alchemy of daily rituals. Mental strength is not forged in grand declarations, but in the quiet, consistent tending of the mind, a truth echoed in the Buddha's teachings on sila, ethical discipline, and bhavana, mental cultivation. Imagine building a temple brick by brick. Each cold shower at dawn is an act of virya, the relentless effort to dissolve attachment to comfort. It's not the shock of icy water that matters, but the daily choice to greet discomfort with steadiness, training the mind to meet life's unpredictability without flinching. Movement becomes meditation when approached with mindfulness. A simple walk or weight lifted transforms into a mirror of the present moment, anchoring you in the body's wisdom, as taught in Vipassana. Even 5 minutes of stillness, sitting in zazen or observing the breath, rewires the mind's chaos into clarity, teaching it to hold focus like a flame in the wind. And then, the deliberate embrace of hardship, waking without snoozing, speaking truth when silence is easier. These are not masochistic trials but acts of right effort, the middle way in action. By choosing small voluntary struggles, you loosen the grip of aversion, preparing the mind to meet life's inevitable storms, with the poise of a Bodhi tree, unshaken by the storm. Lesson 3. Cutting the roots of suffering. To build mental resilience, you must first uproot the habits that poison clarity, a lesson mirrored in the Buddha's warning against the 3 poisons: greed, aversion, and delusion. Complaining, for instance, is modern-day aversion, a refusal to accept what is. Each grievance chains you to suffering, as Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us. The roots of anger grow in the soil of unmet demands. Mentally strong people either act to change their circumstances or release their grip, embodying the Zen teaching, let go or be dragged. Comfort-seeking, another poison, is the delusion that growth can bloom in safety. Yet, as the Buddha left his palace to confront life's harsh truths, so must we step beyond our cushioned routines. Cold showers, tough conversations, pre-dawn, alarms. These are not punishments but invitations to alchemize discomfort into wisdom. Finally, excuses, the subtlest poison, mask delusion as justification. I can't, or it's too hard, are stories we tell ourselves to avoid the work of awakening. But karma teaches that every action plants a seed. Excuses water seeds of stagnation, while accountability nurtures growth. To break these habits is not to wage war on yourself, but to practice metta, loving kindness, toward the person you're becoming, a being no longer enslaved by comfort, complaints, or illusions, but rooted in an unshakable presence. Lesson 4. The Bodhisattva's Journey. Arnold's Path of Relentless Intention. Arnold Schwarzenegger's story mirrors Bodhisattva's vow to strive relentlessly not for personal glory, but to awaken potential. Born in post-war Austria, he faced scarcity, a father who dismissed his dreams, and a future that seemed predetermined. Yet, like Siddhartha leaving his palace, Arnold chose a path of dukkha, struggle. At 15, lifting weights became his meditation, each rep a mantra of samma sankappa, right intention. His move to America at 21, with broken English and empty pockets, embodied sada, Faith, trusting effort over outcome. Fame and wealth were never his goals. They were byproducts of showing up daily, rain or shine, as the Buddha taught. Drop by drop, the water pot is filled. His pre-dawn workouts, grueling film schedules, and political campaigns weren't about ego, but dana, generosity, proving that even a village boy could redefine his karma. Arnold's legacy isn't muscles or movies. It's the lesson that greatness blooms when you treat every moment as a chance to practice right effort, no matter how ordinary it seems. Lesson 5, the stillness in the storm, mastering emotion through mindfulness. Mental strength isn't about suppressing emotions but navigating them like a seasoned sailor rides waves. The Buddha taught that suffering arises not from the waves themselves, but our resistance to them. When anger, fear, or overwhelm surge, pause. That breath between trigger and reaction is your sacred space. The moment mindfulness, sati, intervenes. Thich Nhat Hanh called this stopping the television of the mind. Imagine a heated argument. Instead of lashing out, you step back, observe the heat in your chest, the tightness in your throat, and whisper, "This too is impermanent." Emotions are like monsoons. They drench you, but they pass. Mentally, strong people don't build walls against storms. They build boats. Through practices like anapanasati, breath awareness, you learn to witness emotions without drowning in them. Over time, even chaos becomes a mirror, reflecting your capacity to stay grounded in the eye of the hurricane. Lesson 6, failure as the Dharma of growth. The Buddha's first noble truth, life is suffering, is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean life is bleak, but that clinging to success or fearing failure guarantees pain. Mentally strong people see failure as anicca, impermanence in action, a teacher, not an enemy. Consider the archer in the Dhammapada. He aims diligently, but releases attachment to the arrow's path. Every miss adjusts his aim, sharpening focus. J.K. Rowling's rejected manuscripts, Michael Jordan's missed shots, or a monk's faltering meditation, all are part of the Eightfold Path. Failure isn't defeat. It's the universe whispering, learn, adjust, begin again. The Zen proverb says, fall 7 times, rise 8. Each stumble plants seeds of resilience, watering the roots of future triumphs. To fear failure is to fear growth itself, a denial of life's cyclical nature. Embrace it as the soil where wisdom takes root. Lesson 7, the discipline of the monastic dawn, beyond motivation. Motivation is a fickle muse, but discipline is the monk who rises before dawn, day after decade, to chant sutras in the dark. The Buddha's path hinges on sama vayama, right effort, not the frenzy of momentary passion, but the quiet persistence of a river carving stone. Imagine a novice monk in a Tibetan monastery. He doesn't feel like meditating at 4 a.m. in the freezing cold, yet he sits. Why? Because discipline is faith in action, a vow to show up even when the mind screams excuses. Modern life's distractions, snooze, buttons, endless scrolling, comfort traps, are Mara's temptations luring you from the path. True mental strength lies in the daily choosing. Cold showers over warm beds, honest conversations over polite lies, one more rep when the body begs to quit. Each act of discipline is a brick in the temple of self-trust. As the Dhammapada teaches, you are the heir to your actions. Build a legacy not of fleeting sparks, but of steady, unyielding flame. You needn't be perfect. Start where you are. Each mindful step, each embrace of difficulty, shapes your future. Will you cling to comfort or walk the Bodhisattva's path? The choice is yours. If this resonates, share it with someone struggling. And if you're ready to dive deeper, subscribe. The journey's just beginning. Stay mindful, stay fierce. I'll meet you on the path.